Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Good morning. I know I look not the best, but this morning I got up and I thought to myself, you know what, let me vlog the way I look, the way I feel, because if I just get up one day and I'm all showered, makeup on and start vlogging, maybe you guys won't really get the truth of everything. And you know, after kind of like processing and thinking, what do I really say? It's been a tricky couple of days, really. I think on some of my videos I've got a little bit of topic on my 15-year-old son about not being able to cope with him. I think, or maybe not in depth as much as how everything kind of unfold on my Facebook. You know, the kind of people more there kind of know. Anyway, bottom line, I thought I'd be the only one awake, but I can hear one of the children moving around. It's not gonna be easy. Like, it's not easy for me, it's not easy for my kids, and they might not understand why sometimes I take my camera up or I put it out there and say things that's happening in my life. But you know, in life, Shane, can you just give me some time before you start coming down, please?
I'm hungry right now.
I'll sort you out something in a bit. Just give me 5 minutes. And when the disruption starts, everybody is disrupted, basically. So I really thought I was kind of like, gonna be by myself at least for a while. I don't really know if what I'm even here, standing here vlogging, is the best, but it's the reality of what's happening, basically. It's the reality. Like I said, I was having problems with him. I'm not going to go too much into it, because one of the things he blames me for is putting his life out for others to hear and see what's happening. I'm going to try and see if I can rein that in terms of, you know, I will talk about what's happening, but probably more regards to my life, you know, and how I'm feeling, which I try to explain to them that my life involves them. You know, if I know of a better way of delivering or expressing myself without them being in it, even when they're involved in it, because now my son was in care before the summer period. I've started in May, like a whole episode of problem. Just to brief you guys, I've had problems with him, taking it back to since he was 11, and it's just escalated when he started going secondary school, basically. Meeting up with different friends and stuff like that. Things kind of took a turn from not so good. It's a whole story that probably one day I might discuss more in depth, but right now if I start going into that, it's gonna be an overly long video. And bottom line is, moving to the summer, from like May time to where we're at now, basically he had to be in care for a period of time because I couldn't cope with him, plus the other 3 kids. I've got my own demons, so to speak, but I have to deal with that. I don't cope very well when it's too pressuring and I'm getting stressed, really badly stressed out. Anyhow, back to my son. So we just took the trip to Jamaica, where I had to get involved again to say that, all right, I'll take him back, because it's not like he's been removed. I'm the one that's shouting and screaming that I can't cope with him because of his behavior, and it's deteriorated to the point where now he's smoking stuff that he shouldn't be smoking. I've tried to take him back now, and you know, we've been on holiday. He's still in school, always been in the same school. There's stuff happening there that I have to be called on a regular when he's with me. He's been with me probably about a month or so now, like I would say probably a week before we took the holiday to Jamaica, and then up until yesterday. Today's Sunday. Yesterday's Saturday. Came in on Friday night before Saturday, and just the way he looked, angry in his eyes is red, you know he's been smoking something and drenched in rain, and you know, he's 15 and he's got a 10 o'clock curfew. Sometimes you go all the way from early in the morning when you go to school at 8 and you don't see him until 10 o'clock at night. That's the thing, and it's very hard for me, and I'm trying to cope with it based on all the advice you get to say give him a bit more leeway and stuff like that in timekeeping. I'm not done to say that he go over his time, like that wasn't a problem, but the way he comes home in the night time, and it's very difficult with the other children. Like when they're settled, they have to be unsettled again because he's back at 10 o'clock in the night. You have to get up from whatever you're doing, sort out dinner again. The list goes on. Anyway, what triggered the whole thing is the state he came in on Friday night in, and you know, the aggressiveness when I'm talking to him, saying that he can't be like this because he's got asthma, he's got eczema, the list goes on. So cope with the lifestyle he's living. It's like a really toxic thing. Didn't like what I have to say, a lot of back chatting, a lot of shouting. Anyway, I've kind of took myself out of the situation that night and went to bed. In the morning I get up, there was an episode where he use a toilet and the state he left it in. I've spoken to him before about it, so I asked him that he need to go and tidy it into a way that if somebody wants to use it, they can use it without having to go clean it before they use it. Pretty much never really liked that. Then I told him where the spare tissues was if he needed some. He went upstairs. Instead of that, he's taken to my phone, and that's another one of his little obsessive ways in terms of being too attached to my stuff and stuff like that. Anyway, I started talking to him to say, get on with what I've told you to do and leave my phone alone. You're not really allowed to touch my phone anymore because it's becoming a problem again, because we have a history of that. Talking to him back and forth, he start getting really angry, really aggressive, start calling me all the names under the sun that I can't repeat, which is a side of him that I've seen the anger side, but all this abusiveness with his language, it just get really nasty, really bad, really fast, into to the point where I had to alert the police. They said there's nothing they can do unless, obviously, if he start punching the lights out of me, and I have to probably defend myself, and then it get really nasty. That's probably when they're going to do something. Anyhow, there's a whole pile and a load of stuff that happened since I come back from holiday. Kind of feel like, you know, even the fact that I go on holiday, the whole energy of everything and everyone just, it's like I'm not meant to live or have a nice life or go on holiday with my kids. And that's bottom line how I feel about the whole thing. And, you know, I'm getting backlash from even my youngest child, dad, in all different directions, all sorts of way, where, you know, when you think you're at one with somebody and your life is going to move forward now, and we just, because I needed a break because of all of the stuff that has been going through, and I come back and it's like, whoa, kind of thing, you know. So I had to make some decisions. One, I can't cope with how my eldest is carrying on, no matter how I try. Especially when it gets to the point where it can turn into real violence. I can't cope with it. I couldn't cope with it before. Sometimes when you have time in between and space between the person, you think, all right, you know, and he was going left from places to places when he was in care, didn't stay anywhere long or stable. So, you know, I thought, let me try again. That never worked out. I think, what can I do? Hide away in my house and pretend it's not all happening? Or, you know, I've decided to open myself up on YouTube and stuff like that, and of a different space, you know, Facebook, stuff like that. So yeah, I'm just gonna think the best thing. I got this morning thinking the best thing, because, you know, all of us kind of went to bed feeling a bit deflated. I had to ask Angelo dad to come and have him, because I'm getting pressures from his side as well. A lot of pressures, always have been in certain ways, and like from day one. But that I won't go into too deep, only to say that, you know, at the end of the day, the behavior is like, my own child is too good for me, and I could be dragged through the mud at some point by them, especially because I'm having problem with the eldest, and I'm not that what's the word, cause him to have to deal with that. Then I'm not that strong to deal with my baby, even though, you know, he's been on camera, you guys seen him, he's been around, you know, 100%. Sometimes people think that perhaps he's too good for me. I have always cared for him 100% by myself. He's been a great dad, providing all of these things, but, you know, I had to hand him over yesterday to say that, seeing as I'm getting pressures from everywhere, and I feel like I'm going to have a meltdown and be even in a worse state, all the people that I'm facing the pressure from, I'm basically minimizing it. So this is where things are at. Things can just deteriorate overnight. Yes, I am crying now because it's emotions that I'm feeling, and every time you have a season, that don't make me, I'm gonna get up and brush myself off again, and I'm gonna see from day to day, try and put one foot forward. Because, you know, basically, guys, in life, when you're going through anything, there's one thing that came to my mind this morning, is like, sometimes when you have something, I could have the same thing as the next person, but it all depends on how you look after that thing. If you look after it well, it will flourish and it will bloom and it looks beautiful and it will be bursting with beauty. If you don't look after it well, it'll be tattered and torn, like, for example, like a trainer's that you don't treat nicely. My trainer would be looking glistening, your trainer would be looking dirty. You can use that example in terms of anything that you have, possession-wise, or in even kids-wise. So I'll see. I felt very trapped because I had the baby as well, in terms of not being very mobile, and people use that to their advantage. So, you know, ever since I was little, I learned this. I'm not the brightest in the book, but certain things I retain. And there was nothing that I have in my life on anything that's too good to give away. And I'm learning that no matter what, if you're not able to release something that may seem valuable to you, then anything in your whole entire being, it might become a detrimental to you. So I'm putting it out there that two of my children is not at home. I've still got two. One because that's the path in life he seems to want to choose to live. Up and down, not caring about himself. Smoking things that you shouldn't be anywhere near. The aggressive and blame, you know, it's all my fault. So then I have another side again. And it seems it's the same kind of thing. So that's what's happening, guys. That's what's happening. And I'm going to try my best to pick my camera up. Thank God my camera is kind of back to working conditions. Because he's taken my phone. My eldest just take my phone and he's gone off with it. You know, even though it's quite pricey phone, that's the least. I've come back to decide that I can't live with him, because when the nasty side come out, do not feel like I'm equipped to deal with that side at all. In terms of, one, it's just it breaks my heart to see that side. No respect for his mother. I think he don't really have much respect for women in general, and I've warned him about that. That could be the point where he's gonna have a rough life, because no matter how I grow him and try as a mother, I find that the respect for women is lacking deeply. And if he can't see my side or meet me halfway, or, you know, if it was the fact that I was just leaving him to get on with what he wants to do, how would that show love? Obviously, and he's forcing me into a way where if he's doing wrong, I shouldn't have an opinion. I shouldn't say a word. I should just take everything that's chuck at me. And the way how we feel vulnerable when he comes in at hours, which is not early, and the way it affects the whole persona of everything, the house, you know. And as a parent, you know, there's so much stuff that you have to be responsible for. It's just overwhelming. It's too much for me. I never coped well with it at all when I was going through it before. It's like a trigger thing that it literally made me ill. It literally made me ill. And other people take advantage of that. You know? But guys, that's life, you know. And my vlogging and stuff is not everybody's cup of tea. But I have to do me, you know. Because some people don't like to be transparent. And I'm not perfect, people. Not in the least. But I am trying my best. And I love all my kids, and I'll try my best to look after all of them with all my fibre in me. And it stopped me from doing a lot of things where I have to feel like I am a bit grounded, which is not a problem. But when you're getting attacked from, sometimes you feel all angles. I am willing to do the unexpected, and I am willing to take whatever is thrown at me at times. But I just pray to God I just keep having that get up and go attitude, where I don't keep lying down for everybody to just trample over me. And I don't accept the fact that if I live and enjoy myself, it's a major problem, like I have something to give of myself, or feel forced to give whatever it is they think I have of myself to give without wanting to give. That I can't do. So, don't know what the future holds, guys, but I am going to take one day at a time. And I still pray and hope that I can take you guys along with me, whatever. If you see me with all my kids, that's how it is. And if you see me with 2 of them, that's how it is. And I can't keep coming and updating about whether they're here or they're not here or whatever, you know. Bottom line, just have to keep moving forwards. Because the whole control and ransom attitude and blame game and stuff like that. Anyway, guys, that's what's happening. So, yeah. If you see this video out, that means I have decided to, this is the best plan to say out what's going on. Until next time, guys, take care for now.